produce. We're still doing okay. Plants and meat, we're okay. Let's get a couple basic meals started here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. Don't want to throw too many commands out there at once, otherwise you kind of get this thrashing effect where dwarves are too busy trying to decide what they're going to do than to actually do something. And these water buffalo are trampling the hell out of my ground, so let's just mark these guys for butcher. They're both dudes anyways. Butcher, butcher. That'll give me a lot of much needed leather anyway. Almost done with Tower 2. They're still busy hauling stuff. So far so good. Got some leather going. I think this is, nope, still waiting. And Miner, you've got a job, you're just not really all that disciplined. Alrighty. Doing okay. Seeds are going okay. Let's gonna take a shot out of my booze there for a bit. Make sure that's not suspended. We're good. All right. Well, there we go. And there it looks like they're pulling yak meat out. That's going to end up down in our stockpile area. Good. I need 10 of these. Add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There. And that'll get us the desperate mechanisms we need to get our initial 10 cage traps out of the way. You could literally map the whole place in cage traps. It's kind of cheaty and it gets old fast, so I try to limit myself to about 10 active traps, and those will end up going down here right on this stretch, this far right loop, if you would, on that spring bridge, I guess you could call it. Taking away the moments that make up the long day. Ooh, the modem greens of that song is hilarious. You can tick away. You can take away. It can be a long day or a dog day. Oh, Pink Floyd. Alrighty, we're up and running. We should be getting another migrant wave, hopefully, in the not so distant future. Preferably more than dwarves. We need the manpower. We desperately need the manpower. Let's see, do we have enough here? Build T cage. Nope, no mechanisms yet. Last. Okay, all of that is done. Pause. We can continue. Our build down here. Busy. Keep us flush with some stone. And I swear this place must be Seattle. It never stops raining. Do I have a wall segment in that corner? I do now. is possible. A couple extra barrels. 1, 2, 3. A couple extra bins. Which is N, N, N. There. Alrighty. You guys are working away. That's good. Yay, puppies. Second tower's done. Or actually, that's our third, isn't it? Yeah, third tower. Fourth tower's going along real quick. Good. Oh, you guys are obsessed with building that on the wrong side. Alrighty. Ooh, our first mechanism's getting worked. That's good. Fifth tower's done, right? 1, 2, 3. No, that's fourth. We're on our fifth. Alright. Come on, Ricky. Give it to me. Give it to me! What's the date? 16th limestone. Alrighty. We're running out of time, guys. Gals. Actually, how many of you are guys and gals? We should pay attention to that and give them some nicknames. How are you trying to lure the siege forces closer to the Mark Tower? Clinics, I'm actually not. Those towers are just going to be on the patrol point in case something happens to be there. They're going to want a path through that ramp setup that we have right down in here. Because once the wall is up, that's going to be the only way to get into the fortress. So if they're north, they're going to either have to come past that leftmost tower. If they're coming from the south, there's going to be 2 towers there. If they're coming from the east, they're always going to try to walk towards that one point. So the idea is hopefully we catch them along the way. If we don't, we don't. They can take some cheap shots because invaders always tend to come from the edge of the map. So that's why we put those towers there. The big key is making sure that our main base is sealed up here. Now that all the towers are done, hopefully they'll finish up this wall real quick and we can get this sealed up. And I can actually lay down my stream parts here. 1, 2, 3. Chestnut, oak, and then we'll get this part up here done. Oak, and then this one here, oak, there. Yeah, later on, for those siege towers, what I'll do is I'll build a little C-shaped, kind of a pocket just outside of them, and I'll put like a dog or a chicken there. And then they'll tend to path towards that. But that's later. It's right now because we have Fortress Defense, the mod installed, we're going to get hit right in spring with usually like Dark Stranglers or something that a real basic equipped dwarf can handle. But because I don't have any iron getting smelted yet, the 10 traps are all I'm really going to have to work with. Hopefully between that first invasion and the second invasion, I can get at least one dwarf reasonably equipped. So just getting this first initial box sealed up. Flying stuff, to be honest, if I get attacked by something flying, I'm going to be pretty much pooched anyway. So at that point, it'll be abandoned ship. They will not be permanent. What happens is we set up waypoints and we set up a route. So what we'll do is we'll have Tower 1, Tower A, B, C, D, E, and then I also have like a kill pit. and then what we'll do is we'll assign 2 dwarves out of the squad to run that route. So they'll go up to one tower, and then they'll walk to the next tower, and so forth. And the advantage of doing that is at any point on that route, if a dwarf runs out of ammo, he'll reload in between. Yes, this is for the most part vanilla, with the exception of something called Fortress Defense, which just adds some additional invasion guys. So, yeah, it's pretty much straight up vanilla. Lazy noob. Let's see here. They're having her way. We're down here. Let's see. And did we start? Come on. Come on. Yeah, you're still digging. Yeah. That's where our bedrooms are. So this is basically going to be our base down here. And build bed. And in planning mode, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And build tables. And chairs. There we go. What's the embark like? Well, when I embark on a site, I do a prospect all. I've got plenty of iron and steel, so I don't have much worry on that. It's the standard DF 2012 tutorial embark. So, single pick challenges from water. No, I haven't. For the most part, I don't have a lot of free time, so when I can sneak in these streams and videos, this is pretty much my play time here. In fact, I'm a little bit over what I was planning on budgeting, but luckily my laundry hasn't finished. But in about 7 o'clock, I'm gonna have to cut it just so I can get housework done and stuff like that. But I did watch a lot of Captain Duck when he was busy doing his videos and stuff like that before personal issues kind of cut short on that. So no, it's I've seen a lot of different challenge maps. Unfortunately, I am a terrible player. I think everybody in Dwarf Fortress is, to some extent, but I've tried some challenges, and I just get massacred too often to even try that, so... Wish I was that good, but not quite. Alright, I got a decent amount of migrants here. I'm going to organize them real quick. Take just a second here. It's on a screen you can't see. Unfortunately, it's a little complicated for me to keep switching over. I don't have very good software. Custom profession, base citizen... Yes, and then you guys are all commoners, custom profession commoner, and I'm going to give you all carpentry and masonry and mechanics initially, and just long enough for us to get the wall complete. So let's make sure. Oops. If anybody, we got a lamb, a duckling, pea chick, bunny, ooh, llama. Cat, dog. Alright. What's my GMT offset? I am Central Time, so it is 6:43 at the time I'm saying this. So, U.S. Central Time, so that would be, I believe, -6. If memory serves me right. It's been a while since I worked for multinational, so I'm getting a little rusty on that, but it should be -6 with daylight savings time observed. So, again, it's 6:44 right now. You guys almost got the wall done. And let's get this one last hole taken care of. No, typical. Alright. Temporary wood stockpile. I'll get that out of the way. And let's dismantle the wagon. If for whatever reason I'm not streaming, I'll end up putting footage on a YouTube channel I have. It's just where I throw shit just for shits and giggles, mostly for my nephews. That's mainly the reason I do all this. Is I have two younger nephews, Will and Nick, and you'll hear me reference them from time to time. Normally they're huge Minecraft fans, and I don't get to spend a lot of time with them. They live quite a ways from where I am, so I just do these videos largely just to kind of entertain the nephews, and again, if anybody wants to watch them and stuff like that. I wish I was a YouTuber by any extent, or one of those internet personalities, but I'm old. I got other things I got to get done, but if I can sit down and have time to play games, I'd rather share it with people so other people can have fun and just chat and interact and hang out in that regard. So, I mean, again, there's very few idgrads. If you Google idgrad, it's usually me. If you see me on League of Legends, it's usually me. So, that's pretty much basically what I do with my time. So, try to share and try to take my personal time and try to make more out of it than just me. So, that's kind of the way I look at it. Alrighty, let's see here, and let's try suspending you. And nope. For whatever reason, you still want to use that. Who is trying to use that wood? And why can I not move it? Alright, X. Now let's try it. Alright, let's see if somebody wants to grab it now. And, well, there's one that went. Ah, it's earmarked for these two. Fishery and... Alright, let's give somebody some fishing, and we also need... What the hell is that other one? Forgot what I built. Huh. Fishery and a crafts dwarf. So let's get some leatherworking, wood crafting, stone crafting, and bone crafting. That should hopefully get him to move that. Ah, Germany. It's I used to work for Amplifon many years back. We had a couple people from Dwarf. If you ever catch us doing like YouTube and stuff, the Boers, as we call them, they got family in Germany. It's actually the reason they don't want to move that log is because they were queued up for these other two, the fishery and the hatchery right here. So those logs were earmarked to build those two things, but because they didn't have anybody with the skill to build them, they wouldn't move it. So that'd take care of that. Build sea wall, seal it up. Finally, we're all that much more safer, and I think we've gotten through all of our mechanisms too. So we'll pause, and we'll start to see this whole entrance things to take shape. Build, trap, cage traps. So we want to get 10 in here, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And unpause. So hopefully everybody gets busy and hauls down a bunch of cage traps down here, and we'll get that taken care of. So now everything should be forced through our entrance, which is a big boon, because if it's a baby snatcher or any of the other crafty goblins, they'll hit the dogs and usually turn around. If they're not trap avoid but stealth, then they'll get caught up in the cage trap. So we're good there. I was hoping I had some sand on this map, but I don't think I do. I think it's all clay. And no clay. Shoot. Oh well, we'll make you a garbage dump. There. So I am pretty much boned on weapon traps, but I can, because we're after them dodging. Oh, yay, underground. Great, that means everything's going to start growing. Yeah, build, sea, wall, let's get that zipped up here. Yeah, I figured as much. Which is odd, because I've used this map once or twice before, so I pretty much knew where everything was. I just didn't know when they were going to get to it, so... Build bed. 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bed. There we are, and those guys can finish that out. Is there a special reason for using wood? Yes, it's quicker. Yep, it will be offline, and it also gets auto-archived up to YouTube as well. So just you can Google on YouTube Edgarad, and you'll find me there as well. So yeah, wood again, it's very quick for the dwarves to move around. So early on, just getting stuff with wood is just quicker to haul around. That's all really. I am going to need some extra beds though, so let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. Yeah, I wish I was good enough and eloquent enough to do tutorials like Captain Duck, but the way I play is so haphazard. I dare not take the position of doing how-tos or tutorials. I am just not good enough for that. It's more or less an opportunity to watch a train wreck unfold when it comes to me playing Dwarf Fortress or pretty much anything else for that matter. Now that we've cracked the underground and we have some, well, I should really let them finish down here first. There we are. Hotkey F3, zoom here, there, F1, F3, there we go, much better. So now we actually have our actual grand dining hall. That's where we're actually going to have everybody hanging out here now. That's dug out. So this I can get rid of. X that. And that table can go away, and that table can go away, and that table, and that. Boom. So now we'll get everybody moved downstairs where they belong. So... yeah, the YouTube channel grew out of my wife actually suggested that I do this. Is, well, you're playing the games anyways, you might as well record them so the nephews can watch you. So that's kind of how this all came about. And if you don't catch anything I say, especially for the Europeans that might have trouble with my Midwestern accent, by all means just type something out and I'll try to repeat it. So I tend to ramble. Although I have the Midwest standard dialect for doing news broadcasting announcements and things of that nature, sometimes I am hard to hear, so. Alright, so, looks like I just got an alert, outpost liaison, and a caravan. So if we did this right, the wagons should hopefully be able to make it. Yeah, it looks like they can get to the ramp. Look. Yeah, they should. So he pathed across the squiggly bridge, so we're good there. That's a good sign. The question is can the wagons make it? No, the wagons cannot. Oh yeah, they're cruising along. They just are really taking a convolutedly long route because of all the trees. Oh well, nothing I can do about that. You are my liaison for the mountain home. Let me express to you my deepest considerations on what I think about the mountain home. You can kiss my black ass. I really don't give a damn about the mountain home. The mountain home has never done anything good for me. Yes, that is me. That is how I tend to play. So on this, there's a Legends export, and I'm journaling it, and then I kind of write a story about that. So yes, that is me. The RMG is just random miscellaneous gaming. That was, again, the idea that I would just hit record when I'm goofing off and then just post it. If it was interesting, provided that my friends and I can avoid A, politics, B, religion, politics, and religion. Which is few and far between. I've had we've probably played 40 games of League of Legends, and I don't think we've gotten through one game without bitching about a politician or a particular theology of some sort. So we are far from a PG crowd. So hence the reason why I put the warning on the stream channel. So cool, you made me use the Legend viewer. Yeah, I tell you this, it's you miss so much not paying attention to that, and there are some really fun stories that you can get out of it. I mean, you don't have to be a huge long legacy of boat murder. One scenario I use a lot is if I go to a sinister area where there's werewolves, I pretend that the dwarves are a bunch of werewolf worshipping cultists, and we're sneaking away from the mountain home to lure other dwarves to sacrifice to werewolves. Usually get a couple of them in a pit, and then periodically throw a dwarf in the pit. So yeah, it's glad I could help. I try to do what I can. Again, with my playtime, a lot of times I don't get to sit down and play. So what I end up doing is I take my Legends export and I'll throw that on like a tablet, and then I'll just write stories. I kind of use it as a backstory reference and just write short stories, give them to my nephews, and they get a kick out of them, and I move on with my day. So it's something I can do in the car when I'm not driving. So, where the hell what the? Oh yeah, they're down there. Yay, you guys are almost there. Pathing is looking good. I need a way to get people to dodge and fall. I don't think I have enough wood to use as fuel, so I don't know, I should probably get the roof started here. Let's see, upstairs, we'll put it right here, and that will do whatever it's going to do. I have that going. That's F3, everything's dug out, so we're good there. Let's get some tree farm space underground, which is all this big blobby stuff here. We'll go here, and here, and here. There. Alrighty. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Again, I wish I was good enough at doing this. My strength is corporate America doing presentations, and if you've ever watched my Dungeon Master series, that's my skill set. So I don't have the character or presentation to do like Captain Duck does for tutorials and stuff like that. Again, I wish I was good enough, but the soft stuff I'm decent at. So. I'm learning a lot. Trying. It's a long journey. So again, it's fun. It's a great way to share my free time with what free time I do have. I have a very loving and lovely wife that encourages me to do this kind of stuff because I'm a former teacher. I got out of teaching relatively quick, but I do enjoy teaching people and sharing information with people, so it lets me scratch my teaching itch, I suppose. Alrighty, and we're coming up on a save. It's about 6:58, and my laundry is done, so I am going to cut the session out here. Let this save up, and again, it should get saved out to YouTube at some point. I do appreciate you all stopping by for a visit. Usually when I try to stream, depending on my work schedule, it's usually between 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then usually like by 5 or 6 o'clock I'm usually done, and then there's a later streaming window depending on how things are going, from about 9 o'clock Central Time to, depending on how much energy I've got, 11:30 midnight Central Time. So again, I thank you all for stopping by. I appreciate it. It's always glad to have you visiting. And again, You can message me, you can email me, all sorts of stuff if you need to. I'm easy to find. Just Google Idgarad. So enjoy and have a great evening. And for those of you who are in the morning and in the afternoon, so thank you.